For the last year and a half, I have said no thank you to 98% of the brands that have reached out asking me to review their microphone. I went from being absolutely obsessed to trying to find the best sounding microphone possible to borderline not really caring because it doesn't really matter all that much. That and microphones and audio interfaces nowadays, they're starting to focus on feature integration, software, great companion apps, onboard DSPs, and other functions that provide more ease of use, simplicity, and great quality at sometimes a lower price. However, when Lewitt reached out and asked if I was interested in checking out the new microphone they had coming out, I said yes pretty quickly. This mic includes actual innovation and tech that I've never seen in a microphone before, actually at all. So, welcome back to another episode of Does It Fuck or Does It Suck? Disclaimer, as always, before I start yapping, please be advised that Lewitt provided this microphone for free in exchange for this video. However, I was not paid. There is no commission, no partnership, no affiliateship, and I have 100% creative control over this content and what is said. While this video is framed as a review and I'll be giving my thoughts and opinions on it, this is not a tech spec heavy review with a bunch of comparisons and, nitpicking, and I'm just not that kind of video maker, man. But I'll be using this mic for the entirety of the video so you can get an idea of the audio fidelity and the tone. The Lewitt Ray is an XLR condenser microphone featuring a sensor-based technology called Aura. We're going to get into the sensor tech in just a minute. The microphone has a 1-inch capsule powered by 48-volt phantom power and has 2 buttons, one for Aura and one for mute. In the box, you get a microphone, a shock mount, magnetic pop filter, foam windscreen, and a transport bag that I cannot find. It has a cardioid polar pattern, 20 to 20,000 hertz frequency range, 8 decibels of self-noise, and a signal-to-noise ratio of 86 decibels. This microphone retails for $349 US doll hairs. So what makes this mic so different? So Lewitt is calling the Aura technology in this microphone autofocus for your voice, which whoever thought of that slogan, give them a raise, because that's pretty fucking on point. The microphone has 2 sensors on the front that measure the distance between your large, beautiful lips and the mic itself. And as you pull away or move forward, there is a visual representation of the sensor measuring the distance from your lips to the mic. This allows the microphone to adapt to your levels and tone on the fly, or so they claim. This also means that you can turn on the mute by distance feature as well, where if your face is absent, the capsule mutes itself. When I was first reading about this mic, I didn't catch that it was an XLR microphone. I made an ass out of you and me and assumed smart features, smart connection. I thought it was a USB microphone, which of course, as always, doesn't make it a worse mic. USB mics are awesome. Y'all know I'm a big fan. Friends don't let friends talk shit about USB mics, okay? So when I learned that this was an XLR mic that handled everything on its own with just being powered by phantom power coming off the interface, I was pretty flabbergasted. My brain then flipped into cynical mode. I'm thinking there's no way in hell that this mic does this well. I was wrong. On the front side of the mic, you have Aura on the left and mute on the right. I'm unsure if both sensors are for both functions or if the left sensor is for Aura and the right is for mute. I am sure that the left button is for Aura and the right button is for mute. Tap the Aura button to engage, again to disengage, or tap the mute button to mute, and then again to unmute. Press and hold the mute button to set the distance for when you want the mic to self-mute, or press and hold both buttons at the same time to lock in whatever settings you have set. So I want to test this for myself. Lewitt claims that this microphone is record ready, or is it record ready? Who knows, because English. Thanks, Obama. So I want to show you some tests that I did that mimic the tests that Maria did, and if I can get the same effect or quality. I have this mic plugged into my Universal Audio Volt 476. My gain is at about 3 o'clock, and the 76 compressor is on, set to the vocal settings. So right now I'm about 8 inches away from the microphone. I'm talking as loud as I have been for the rest of this video. So I'm just going to talk a little bit more normally, get a little bit closer, and hello, good morning. Welcome to the Crocs and Hot Pockets podcast. My name is Naaackers. Thank you for joining us for episode 176. Today on the podcast, we have middle-aged stream, Bishop GP, and yours truly, Nack Daddy. And now I'm getting a little bit closer. Today we're going to be talking about The Division 2, how it is the most overhyped video game of all time. Accidentally, I just meant No Man's Sky, because we talked about No Man's Sky on that podcast for 17 hours straight. More so curious about the clipping and the proximity effect if I'm all up on it. All up on it. All up on it. I'm going to turn that compressor off now and get up on it. I'm putting this microphone to my lips. To my lips. To my lips. I mean, the levels still look as if I was right up on it. So I set Aura to mute if I was like 1 or 2 more inches further away from it. So right now the mute button is illuminated green, meaning it is allowing signal through. But if I back up, fancy. I'm recording right now with the air conditioner off there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right back there. So I'm going to turn the air conditioner back on and do this same test and see how well it performs. Now, obviously the signal to noise ratio is going to be a little bit worse off because I have the compressor on the audio interface. So this is as close as Aura is going to detect me. So I'm going to bring myself back to level 3. And just kind of talk normally, see how everything is going. Hello and welcome to the Crocs and Hot Penis podcast. God, it gets so hot in here when the air is off for just like 10 minutes. 10 minutes is all it takes for me to start sweating. Do I look 10 times as moist? And this is going to be like the furthest back from the mic as possible. Again, I'm just trying to talk as normally as I could if I was going to be right up on the microphone. Hi, and welcome to this YouTube video published to the internet. And I'm assuming with me being right here and just talking normally, you're getting a lot more room noise. But if this was just a regular condenser microphone, it would probably sound way worse. I'm just gonna get closer to let you hear how the signal to noise ratio gets worse and worse as I get closer, because Aura is starting to taper off. Oh yeah? I'm going to consolidate how I feel about the majority of the microphone, but then talk details and scenarios about its core features afterwards. Overall, build quality, fantastic. Sometimes the magnetic pop filter drives me mad, like when I grab the microphone and it pops off, but I won't hold it against Lewitt. The shock mount works very well. The single screw mechanism for releasing the mic from the shock mount, sturdy and fantastic. The mic itself, beautiful, heavy, has a small footprint on camera, and I love that the shock mount has a single angle adjustment in case you have a mic arm that doesn't really let you make granular changes. As you can see right here, I have a little newer ball head on the end of this mic stand because I can't really make adjustments other than that. Regarding Aura, I was pleasantly surprised at how well the features worked with this microphone. Lewitt makes really good hardware, and I didn't doubt them from a hardware perspective. But at the time, like when I was reading about the features, like you have to worry a little bit, right? But the microphone handles it very well. And when it comes to technology, I genuinely believe that this is like a true innovation, like groundbreaker for sure. Do I think every mic needs to have this feature? No, especially if it's not going to make the microphones $350. You have to kind of weigh your options of what you're looking for in a microphone and be within the target market. I'll touch on that in the next section. There is going to be a large portion of creators that are looking at this microphone and seeing how it is making the process of creating content easier. And these are going to be pleasurable features that they are looking for in a mic. For a audio professional, a producer, maybe somebody who's working in the studio, they don't necessarily need this because they know how to do everything under the sun when it comes to an audio chain. This isn't going to be targeted at them. And even as somebody who thinks that everybody should get a little knowledgeable when it comes to audio, I am all about bringing these types of features to mics to just everyday people because it makes them create content easier, and then they will in turn make better content because they're not spending all of their time fussing about stuff like this. Here is my only worry. What happens when the sensor malfunctions? Will months of spit and flaming hot Cheeto dust impede the sensor's ability to detect proper distance? Will the mic trying to take over when to accept and deny sound cost me a recording in the future? Am I adding a point of failure? I really can't answer those because I've only been testing this for a month. I haven't experienced anything close to that at all. In fact, all of my recordings have been great, but it's something to think about. And if you spend $350 on a microphone and then an extra feature prevents you from doing the core thing that the mic is supposed to do, just receive audio, that could be super frustrating. And at a $350 price tag, that's going to burn. I do have one quick nitpick. I wish the XLR connector was rotated 90 degrees. When I use a condenser microphone over at my gaming setup, I orient my microphone the same way they do in parts of the press release video, upside down. Not for aesthetics, but because when you're gaming with a mouse and keyboard, you can't lower the mic to a comfortable spot that isn't impairing your vision of your monitor, because the XLR cable is adding another like 6 inches to the mic's total height. So then you flip it upside down, especially if you're on a low profile mic arm. But now you have a cable shooting up into your eye. And I know that you can buy 90-degree XLR connectors, but I don't like adding additional points of failure or possible places for interference. I just would have loved to see like an XLR asshole with the cable coming out of the rear. If you compare this to my RE320 or my Beacon mic, where the in-your-faceness footprint is pretty light, it seems like a lot in your face, and I'm used to quite a lot in my face. So who would this mic be for? There are times in life when you experience something new with a product category that you have been using for years, where something has been some way for such a long time, and it isn't until you're introduced to the new life-changing thing that you just can't go backwards. Like hardware mixer for PC audio, force touch the spacebar on an iPhone to move your typing cursor back and forth, remapping caps lock to be control and command instead of caps lock being a useless key in a critical place on the board. I'll give you another mic-related innovation. The Beacon mic, one of my favorite USB mics, has an onboard DSP where you can apply noise suppression and an expander to the voice that you're monitoring in your headphones in real time. So when you're recording or gaming or whatever, you're monitoring your voice in your headphones and you're not hearing desk rumbles, keyboard clicks, air conditioners. You just hear the vocals. Do you know how difficult it is to use any other microphone at that setup? And now I have to choose? I think this mic is great for content creators and live streamers. For years, we've been using hardware, software, plugins to replicate features that are built right into the microphone. It's a reason why the Beacon and the Go XLR hardware is so popular, because people are striving for just a little bit more functionality with their audio instead of just having a microphone going into an audio interface, right? Not having to bake all of these VSTs into OBS only and that be the only app that's actually receiving the good microphone signal. One of the fan favorite features of the Go XLR was the bleep cough button, right? But now you just need to adjust your distance. You just need to adjust the distance without actually having to press a button when you need to cough or sneeze, and then those don't get recorded. The mic's smaller footprint and low profile pop filter are great for creators looking to get the microphone farther away from their face, not being on camera. I don't really mind, but as someone who came from an RE320 shock mount, yeah, I appreciate the subtlety. I've used the Lewitt LCT 240 Pure from Lewitt to record both electric and acoustic guitar. And while I don't think the Aura technology is meant to be used for instrument recording, I have seen other reviewers online like PMTV UK that have used this microphone for recording. And even their 240 Pure, the $100 condenser microphone, is fantastic for both guitar and for vocals, just on its own. Lewitt is saying that this mic is great for podcasters, and with the Aura technology, I'm inclined to agree, but I don't have multiple microphones or friends to test that theory. This microphone is really playing into the do more in pre so that you can do less in post without tampering on the final product too much. This is something that I really believe in. Like I love it, and I think it makes higher quality professional audio devices easier to digest for newbies and intermediates. So yeah, this mic fucks.